Network Entertainment.
What does it take to have an Olympian mindset?
It takes a lot of curiosity. What else can I do? What
Right.
else can I improve on? What
Right.
else? What else?
What
What
else?
else? Yeah.
Right.
And also another thing that I realized in my clinical practice, I've been doing this for more than 10 years already, is that kahit corporate worker ka, kahit amateur athlete ka, kahit family member ka of someone that's going through something, everyone has their own mental challenges. So if you can work on the mental aspect of your being, you can achieve so much. You can calm yourself down during like high pressure situations. Everyone has their own challenge, and if you can strengthen your mindset, most likely you're gonna be feeling okay,
Wow. And not just okay, but
thriving.
thriving. Hi, this is Mirza Season. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go! What drives someone to perform at their absolute best under the most intense pressure, against the odds, with the world watching? Whether you're chasing Olympic gold or striving to meet your personal best in your own goals, there's a science and strategy behind showing up powerfully with an Olympian mindset. Today's guest played a pivotal role when gymnast Carlos Yulo won 2 gold medals at the Paris 2024 Olympics by blending neuroscience, biomechanics, CBT, and DBT. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. What is DBT?
Dialectical behavioral therapy.
Excuse me. Mental conditioning and strategic coaching. An Australian licensed occupational therapist, elite sports performance coach, and the founder of Neurobalance Therapy. Her work spans Olympic athletes, UFC fighters, esports world champions, and high performers from all walks of life. She's also a Harvard-trained ergonomics specialist and an MIT data science professional. Wow. Please welcome Coach Hazel Calawod. Hi.
Hi,
Hazel.
Mirza.
I'm so happy you're finally free.
Yes, I'm 80% done studying.
80%. Oh my gosh. So what's keeping you busy besides studying?
What's keeping me busy is streamlining my work for the next couple of years, because I'm going to be a regional expert for Asia for the International Paralympic Committee.
Wow.
So all more studies about
Yes.
persons with disabilities and
Right,
combining
right.
it with like Olympian type of training.
Right. So it's been a year since the Paris Olympics. What has happened since then? Did you get so many offers to train other Olympics bound athletes, or what happened?
Actually, yes. Except that after the work that I did, I was like, okay. I kind of need to chill first.
Right.
I'm not hurrying to do more work, even though the attention is already there, because I was prioritizing more of like, how else can I be a grandmaster for
Ooh.
this? That's why I went more into doing a master's degree for sports and lifestyle management.
Right. And I read that you're also sharpening your coding skills as a Google developer. What's that about?
I am also interested now in learning more about artificial intelligence and how I can turn this interest of mine into digital healthcare as well. So
Amazing.
yeah, that's my geeky side as of current.
Right. So I was browsing your LinkedIn and I saw your post a few months ago about being the keynote speaker for the 2024 Philippine Academy of Occupational Therapists annual convention, and you had a reunion with your former professors and classmates. What did that feel like to be the keynote speaker among your peers?
It was definitely a big honor for me. I was so grateful because, well, I knew when I was in university days in UP Manila, I wasn't the best student, guys. I was more into dancing.
Okay.
So I kind of just graduated occupational therapy majoring in dance.
Oh, Oh, okay.
But the creativity, the innovative side of me, I think that's what became the focus of me being a keynote speaker. Like, how did I turn occupational therapy into
Right.
sports occupational therapy? Because it's not a usual practice. It's very
Right.
rare for someone
Right.
to go like outside of the box
Right.
and make her own clinical practice.
Right. And speaking of rare, how is an occupational sports occupational therapist different from the usual?
So usually physiotherapists or physical therapists, Mirza, would specialize in assessing a person based on neuromusculoskeletal functions, injuries, and performance optimization that is more geared towards understanding the physical mechanisms and the underlying aspects of that. Meanwhile, as an occupational therapist, we analyze people based on the occupation itself. So we also analyze emotions, brain functions, behaviors. We
Right.
analyze lifestyle, sleep,
Right.
like all those things. And
Right.
then we try to make a formula for our clients
Right.
para lahat yun can be
Holistic.
addressed. Yes.
Right. Right. And how did you get into focusing on high performing athletes?
It was always an interest of mine because growing up, I was hooked into sports,
You
all
were a
kinds of sports.
swimmer.
Yes.
What else?
Well, you did your
Dancer.
research.
Of course.
Yes. So I knew that it was something that I really like to keep in my life. I didn't want to let it go
Right,
because it
right.
was giving me life.
Right.
It was giving me something to enjoy about my profession.
Right. And then how did the connection with Carlos Yulo come about?
So before I met Carlos, I was already in the International Gymnastics Federation
Okay.
as a member of Aging Society Working Group. So I was
Right.
geeking out on gymnastics already.
Okay.
But I was innovating again for the International Gymnastics Federation. It's the governing body of gymnastics in the world.
Right.
So I'm a researcher there, and I would innovate gymnastics for older people so that they can achieve healthy aging through sports, which is gymnastics.
Okay.
Then by that role, I met the president of Gymnastics Association of the Philippines.
Cynthia Carrion.
Yes. And then I offered her, it's like, do you want to team up? It's
Right.
like, maybe I can do something for the Philippine team. And
Okay.
that's when Carlos came to the
Right.
Philippines. She formed a team.
Right.
And I was one of those people that she reached out to.
Right. And then tell us briefly the story of how your partnership with Carlos came to be all the way to the Olympics.
So prior to doing all the things that I incorporated into his regimen of training, my primary role was just to be a therapist to fix muscular imbalances and prevent injury, and a bit of giving exercises so that he can be strengthened. I didn't have any role yet in the gymnastics before that, but what happened was his performance was not translating. His training was not translating into the competition.
Right.
And he kind of had this instinct
Right.
that I had more in me.
Oh, he had an instinct.
Yeah, he was like, we were only 3 in the team.
Okay.
Him, me, and the gymnastics coach. But when he would compete, he couldn't translate his training
Right.
into the competition itself.
Right.
So he asked me after Azerbaijan,
Right.
during the World Cup there, he wasn't getting good results. So he was like, "Ma'am, you're the only one that I can trust. I know you can get, I know you believe in me. I know you can help me."
Right.
And that's
So what exactly did you do? Or how did you know what to do?
how did I know what to do? I had several months of observing what was going on in the training. So from an occupational therapist perspective, and from someone who is into sports as well all her life, I knew what were the missing components.
Like what?
Example, more repetition. Because the brain, the movement patterns need to be memorized by the brain. So it becomes automatic. If you don't get enough repetition as an athlete, when you go into a competition without that automatic response, you will be filled with anxiety, stress, and you cannot perform properly because your
Right.
anxiety or stress response to
Right.
the overwhelming situation, which is
Right.
the competition, will surge through your system,
Oh,
and so you will forget about what you trained. Most likely, you will
right.
see competitors, so
Right.
that can also have like a bit of intimidation.
So when the conditions are more high pressure, such as in a competition, he would not do as well as in practice.
Yes,
Right.
because he did not understand. I mean, he's young.
Right.
He didn't study brain mechanisms
Right. Right.
and
Right.
all this like sports science. He did not understand that there are other factors in competition that you do not see in training.
Right.
The very bright lights
Okay.
that
Okay.
changes the way your
Right. Right.
pupils
Right.
will dilate
Right. Right.
and
Right.
receive information. The sound, like
The
the music,
crowd.
the crowd, the
Right.
competitors that you don't know whether they're going to
Right.
perform properly or not. Are they going to? Are you going to be the first, the second, the third? So
Right.
there's so many factors that are not in training, that is only in the competition that you will
Right.
get, unless you simulate it.
Right. And so, how did you do that?
Well, I also simulated, including the mental stimulation, like mental like preparation, competition mindset. I would I built a whole system so that when the athlete goes into the competition itself, parang nagawa ko na to sa training.
Sanay na yung ano.
Even though it's like, oh, I'm going to be the third to perform. How am I going to control my system so that
Wow.
when I am the third, I'm not gonna lose interest and my brain functions will still be very alert, so that when it's my time to shine, I will perform.
Wow.
Because that can also happen if you don't know your
Wow.
metabolic rate, if you don't know
Right.
how
Right.
to switch
Right.
on and off your adrenaline system.
Right.
Yeah.
How can this be applied to regular listeners? Like maybe they're not going to compete in the Olympics, but maybe they're preparing for a big presentation in front of like hundreds of people.
Yes.
What are some tips that you can give for them to
Okay. How many do you
prepare?
want?
As many as you can.
Okay. Well, this is where I love being in this podcast, because definitely what I did for being the training systems architect is very very is also applicable to people's lives.
Right, right,
So,
right.
example, scenario, you're going to have a presentation, performance, and you would analyze, right?
Right.
Let's analyze. What would it look like?
Right.
People.
Right.
A lot of people, bright lights as well.
Right.
It's
The
like,
bosses.
yes, the bosses,
Your haters.
your haters, the amount of energy that you need to project,
Right.
your voice, like all this.
Right.
Analyze that and prepare for that, right? So how? You need to practice your lines. So also when it's time for you to present, you're not going to stutter.
Right.
And then you also need to calm your systems down. You have to tell yourself that I've done this already. I'm just going to have to stay true to my mission. What is my mission? To inform the people in front of me that this is what I'm trying to relay to them. So you focus on not impressing the people, but you focus on what are you supposed to do there? Your what is the description? What is the action that I need to do here? So you're gonna present. So you're gonna have to command the room,
Right,
the
right,
presence, right? Like you're going to imbibe that, and then you're also going to tell yourself that like there is no need for me to get nervous,
Okay.
right? Because I know what I'm talking about.
So you have to believe.
You also have to believe, and that's the thing. It's also hard because just the thinking that you're gonna have to present yourself and you're going
Right.
to be judged, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how you're
Right,
going to
right.
be perceived. So But if you do trust what you've studied, if you
Right.
trust that what I've prepared for you is more than enough,
Right.
and also they don't know what you're talking about.
Right, right, right. Right.
So when you function from that mindset, you have less risk of getting riled
Right.
up.
Hi, my name is RJ Ledesma. I wear many hats. I wish I had just as many heads. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I'm also an entrepreneur mentor. I'd like to invite all of you to please listen to the RJ Ledesma podcast. On my podcast, I listen to inspiring business leaders and entrepreneurs to learn more about how they think about doing business, what are their success secrets, and how we can replicate them, and more importantly, what business opportunities do they see emerging in the near future for us entrepreneurs. Listen to the RJ Ledesma podcast.
Are there like mantras that maybe you ask Carlos to imbibe or that you tell your clients? Na, you can do this, ganyan.
I personalize it.
Okay.
Because every person has different goals.
Right.
For example, for the athlete, the primary functioning should be I need to perform during competition. If I'm nervous, what am I gonna? You have to study.
Okay.
What are the weaknesses
Right.
of this person? The weakness in this prime example is like nervous, right? So then I would say it's like I would talk to him before he would enter the stage, the competition area. We've already done this. You just need to replicate it. What you've done in training, you're just going to show. And then I would remind him about the mission. What's the mission? You're going to show them how well you trained. That's all. You're going to let go of the judging. You're going to let go of the desire to win here and there. The primary thing you need to focus on is you have to do your description, was like job description, na eto yung repertoire of skills I practice. I'm gonna do it so well, and then I'm gonna let you just judge.
Wow. So you let go of like need for validation or approval. Okay.
Because if you know in yourself that is like the external validation will not matter.
Right.
It's more of the personal satisfaction.
Right.
Right? It's like how well did I do
Right.
today for myself and for my own goals?
Right.
The external validation will not matter anymore.
Kahit Olympics pa man yan.
For sure, that is like the dream, right? That's
Right,
the dream, kahit Olympics. But when you're already there, everyone's an Olympian, right? Like
Right.
everyone's there. What's the difference?
Right.
Most likely, the difference is like how good are you at controlling yourself during during the time where there's so much pressure.
Right.
That person will win most likely because he can calm down
Wow.
and can perform properly, can function during stressful times, right?
Right.
Because if you don't know that there are factors that will affect you that way, you're going to be a victim of all this like unknown factors.
Right.
So the only thing that we can do is actually to get to know how can I put the brakes on me? How can I switch on and off certain functions of me? And then just do it
Wow.
with all your might.
Wow. Amazing. How about for your own performance during Carlos's performance, right? As the coach of an Olympian in the Olympics. What was running through your mind for yourself?
I actually went to church a lot for this. Because one, I did not know, like, okay, I'm not a gymnastics coach. How am I going to run this?
Right.
So I was like, just praying. I was
Right,
like, God,
right.
help me. I don't know how to do this. Teach
Right,
me.
right.
Then the answers will come because you want it. And also, I said to myself, this person, this athlete is going to compete. He's going to get stressed. So the coaches need to be a source of strength and should be a pillar of strength because this athlete is going to be rattled.
You cannot contribute to the stress.
You cannot. So you have to show the athlete as well, or the person that you're handling, that, like, you're not by yourself. We're here.
Right.
I'm here to support you.
Right.
It's empowering if you have someone like that.
Right.
Right? Like, if you cannot show that you are stressed as well, that you're so is like, sayang, hindi mo to nagawa. No.
Right.
You can't do that, because the more the self-belief of the person that you're handling is going to go down.
Right.
So you have to also contribute to the well-being of the person.
Right. I also found out that you said Carlos was very humble. Pinapauna niya yung iba during warm-up. And then you wanted him to become more competitive. What did you say to someone who struggles with that? Like, they struggle to own their space, or they feel like they don't deserve to win. What is your take on that?
So what I did was, like, I asked him. He was like, where do you think this is coming from? It's like, why? What's important for you? Is it them, or is your dream also important for you? Because if your dream is important for you, if your goal is important for you, then you should choose that. Right?
Okay.
So that kind of invalidates the other argument already.
Right.
Like, okay, oo nga, I want to be kind. But if I'm not able to, if I'm not able to display as well, I'm not able to protect my own goals as well, then does that really benefit my life?
Right.
Right?
Wow.
So it gives you a different frame.
So what did he change?
I said, you need to be undeniable. I said, because if you're going to enter that space, right, it's competition. You do need to be undeniable, because everyone's competing for one spot. The gold or the silver or the bronze, depends on what you want, right? So I said, pwede kang madaya ng judges, pwede kang madaya na pwedeng may magaling sa'yo. You need to be bulletproof when you enter that.
Right.
So you got to give it your all. And that's coming from the training that you get.
Wow. And then also I found out that parang you made him battle ready like a soldier. Can you tell us more about that?
So my assessment prior to doing all this was that, okay, mabait siya. Pero hindi yun yung kailangan sa competition kasi, right? So then I said, okay, if I'm going to tell him and address him, if I'm going to give him a mission, it's like every training bout, example, we're training for Doha. I'm going to write down on my notes, this is our mission. To get this properly, these are the objectives. That's how the military does their, diba? Their training.
So every competition, iba yung mission?
Iba. Kahit sa training, meron siyang key performance indicators.
Okay.
Tapos I will measure.
Right.
I'll measure based on the key performance indicators. Asan ka na? Oh, sabi mo, eto gusto mo. Andito ka pa lang. Oh, anong gagawin natin?
So may metrics.
May metrics.
Wow. Okay. So systematic.
Yeah, data science talaga.
And then parang nabasa ko pa that you have a time tracking system. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Everything that he did during training, basically anything that I see videos, is like everything is recorded.
Okay.
Kasi kung you're going to compete for Olympics, tapos you're not going to record, you're not going to study what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses. Tapos you're competing against first world countries here and there that have all the, diba? The tools. Lugi ka talaga.
Right. And how can regular people apply this kind of systematic tracking and monitoring in their own goals?
Number one, guys, your self-limiting beliefs, take that out. Kasi kung you're going to want to progress every day or every week or every month, you also cannot hold on to the self-limiting beliefs, right? So that's number one.
What are common self-limiting beliefs?
Na I'm not enough. Now whatever I do, I'm never gonna amount to that. I'm never gonna be like this person, like here and there. Scratch that out. Because that's not gonna give you progress, right? Tapos, you're going to write down. Because at least meron kang makikita kung ano mangyayari.
You have to see it.
You have to see
Can't
it.
be just in your mind.
But others can do it like that. Pero if you're starting this journey,
Right.
you can't go automatically in your mind to switch on and off. It's like this is how I
Right.
track my progress. You can start by writing it first.
Right.
Right? And then you determine. You don't shoot for the super long-term goal. You make like bite-sized goals first para ma-increase mo yung motivation mo and also yung reward system mo sa yung dopamine hit mo sa sarili mo and also yung confidence mo na ay kaya ko pala.
Okay.
This week eto lang gusto ko ma-achieve.
Okay.
Pang-increase lang ng self-confidence.
Right,
Next week eto naman.
Okay.
Until dahan-dahan mo nang nagiging you feel competent about how to manage yourself.
Right. And then,
What else? And then you also, if you have, you also have to know your psyche. There's some other things that we want in life was just programmed to us by marketing,
Yeah.
by social media, here and there.
like what?
Maybe example as a woman, yung if you compare yourself to those na mga influencers or something
Right,
na I
right.
don't look like this, so I'm not
Right,
I'm not beautiful.
Right.
It's like that you already invalidated yourself just by saying that, right? So how can you change this? You know your strengths first, and that means you need to spend time with yourself as well. Kasi if you don't, then you will if we are all in a river or an ocean of thoughts, of behaviors, of marketing, of everything. It's like, right? Like it's a jungle out there. If you cannot ride that, and then you cannot protect what your own space, your own goals, you're gonna be a victim of all sorts of influences, right?
You'll be tossed around.
You'd be tossed around.
Right.
And also, you might want something that at the end of that journey is not actually fulfilling.
Oh, okay. So you have
Right?
to reevaluate your goals.
Yes, and if it's food for your soul, or if it's food for, if it's really something that you believe in, that you know na parang internally it validates what you think of yourself. Because if example you're just gunning for, okay, I want this kasi nakita ko siya, mukha siyang masaya. Parang ganun. So baka ito yung formula to
Right.
happiness. Pero iba yung upbringing mo sa kanya. So kailangan mong alamin din yun.
Right. Paano mo ito na-apply in your own life?
Oh my gosh. Nung pandemic, I took that as an opportunity to, it's like, not much social interaction. I'm going to study.
Right.
Me.
Yeah.
Kasi wala kang distraction. So in this, like now that like we're post-pandemic, find some time to just be by yourself. Goes on a staycation.
Right.
Evaluate your life first.
Right.
In order to change, you have to know what you want to change,
right.
right? So then write down what you truly want. And if you get this, will it actually like add value to you, you know? And then start from there.
Right.
Ang dami kong ginawa.
And so ano ang kinahinat na ng iyong pagmumuni-muni?
That, parang I understood that, and some parts of who I used to be were just programmed into me. And then when I realized that it's like, okay, so even if I keep doing this, you know, it doesn't feel good for me. What feels good for me? Ang kinahinatnan is like, I don't seek external validation. I stay true to who I am. I stay true to my values now that I've understood a lot about psyche and like all this. And I understood what I want out of my life.
Wow, galing. And so what can you say after having worked with all these high-performing athletes and fighters and being exposed to the Olympics arena? What does it take to have an Olympian mindset?
It takes a lot of curiosity. What else can I do? What else can I improve on? What else? What else?
What else?
What else? Yun.
Right.
And also, another thing that I realized in my clinical practice, I've been doing this for more than 10 years already, is that kahit corporate worker ka, kahit amateur athlete ka, kahit family member ka of someone that's going through something, everyone has their own mental challenges. So if you can work on the mental aspect of your being, you can achieve so much. You can calm yourself down during like high pressure situations. Everyone has their own challenge, and if you can strengthen your mindset, most likely you're gonna be feeling okay,
Wow. And not just okay, but
thriving.
thriving. So, what's your most important takeaway from our conversation today that can help every listener and viewer watching really believe that you can do this?
You can do that. Yun na, actually. Yun na.
Yun na.
But one is analyze. What do you want? And then analyze, is there anything missing so I can get what I want?
Okay.
And then work on that. Keep training yourself. Actually, not everything that you probably want has already been done.
Okay.
Right? So it's only a matter of training.
Right.
It's also it's only a matter of believing. Why? Well, do you see all the beautiful architecture out there, the carpet here, the everything? It all started in the mind. This used to not exist, right?
Right.
But someone thought of it and someone wanted to put it out there so that it can become pleasing, or it is like it is the way it is. So it all starts in the mind.
Thank you so much, Hazel. I learned so much from you today. Do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Keep believing in yourself. And if you still don't believe in yourself, ask yourself, why don't I believe in myself?
Okay, thank you. Where can our listeners find out more about you and your work and what you're up to?
You can go to the website mindcoachhazel.com.
Okay.
It's almost live. And also, you can search for me on LinkedIn, Lynn Hazel Calawod, Facebook and Instagram, Mind Coach Hazel.
Thank you, Hazel.
Thank you, Mirza.
Thank you.
Finally.
Yes. Bye. Yay.
Yay.
Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit mirza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Mirza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.